guys, welcome back to the Basement Breakdown. We're here today to talk about Kevin Lee signing with the PFL as he's about to get fucked up late notice. I'm just kidding, guys. We're going to be talking about this weekend's fight night of Erin Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. We're going to be going over the card, giving our predictions as always. And yeah, guys, let's get to it. Not a lot of MMA stuff to talk about in general this week, which is okay. But, I definitely prefer when there's a lot to talk about. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So we're going to go over this card. We're going to start from the bottom and move up. So we have Rayan Dos Santos versus Alice Ardaline. There's also been a couple canceled bouts. So Rayan Dos Santos, I don't think either of these girls are particularly very good. Alice Ardaline is 33. Rayan Dos Santos is 29. I feel like Rayan probably has more potential than Alice Ardaline. They're both not particularly good, as I've mentioned, and to be fair, this fight could really go either way, but I do think Rayan Dos Santos is the more talented out of the two. Alice Ardaline has a much worse record, and I just worry for her. Her last fight was against Melissa Martinez, where she lost a decision. Rayan Dos Santos' last fight was against, looks like it was Pooja Tamar, and it was a decision. She looked all right in that fight. I think because of that, I'd probably pick her. I think she looks better when I've seen her than Alice Ardaline. So we're going to go with a Rayan Dos Santos probably decision win for our first fight of the night. We move up the card. Okay, so Balajai Oki is fighting Michael Aswell Jr. He was supposed to be fighting Markel Medeiros, and when that matchup was made, I think I was leaning towards more Markel, but this is very late notice. Michael's 24. He is got a significant deficit in the reach, and he's going to be coming in late notice to fight Balajai Oki, who's a talented fighter. I do like him, the Zulu Warrior. He's a fun guy to watch with a 9-2 record. He lost to Chris Duncan his last time out via guillotine in the first round. I bet on Chris Duncan. That was back in September. He's had a couple, canceled bouts. Add Markel to the list, and now he's fighting Michael. I think that more than likely Balajai Oki will probably KO Michael Aswell Jr., get back in the win column. Michael's got a 10-2 record, but I mean, Balajai's had a full fight camp, and he's probably more prepared for this than Michael will be. I see a Balajai, maybe Michael. Yeah, man, you know what? We're going to go with the Balajai first round KO. Let's move up the card. I'm sorry, Michael. Trevin Giles goes up against Andreas Gustafsson. I like Trevin Giles. I feel like he is a part-time fighter in a way. He goes up against Andreas Gustafsson. I mean, Trevin Giles is a guy that, he takes a lot of fights, and this is another late notice fight. I feel like, people will say he did well in the Mike Malal fight, which he did. He had some moments in the Carlos Praches fight. He's fought good guys. He's lost a lot. I mean, he fought Dricus, I remember. He beat Roman Dolidze, which is probably his best win. But, he's... I like Trevin Giles, but I'm going to have to go with an Andreas Gustafsson KO in the first round. I don't think that Trevin Giles... What is he? I think he's... Is he a police officer or something? I'm not sure, but I know that he has another occupation and that fighting isn't his only job. So, yeah, I'm probably going to go with Andreas Gustafsson to finish him in the first round. All right, let me move up the card. Kurt Holloway versus Jordan Leavitt, the Monkey King. I like Kurt. I believe this is his second stint in the UFC. His last time out, he fought Alexander Hernandez, and he lost a decision, which I thought arguably could have gone to Kurt. I thought that, the judges were a little biased. Granted, I did bet on Alexander Hernandez that fight, so I was happy, but I thought Kurt landed more on the feet, and just, I don't know if, the takedowns for the Great Ape really secured the win, but in the judges' eyes, it seemed to do just that. So, yeah, Jordan Leavitt, Levitt. He's fought Paddy Pimblett. He's had a lot of canceled bouts, and he hasn't fought in a while. I think since he fought maybe Chase Hooper. His stand-up's not that bad. I mean, he's definitely got to get to his takedowns in order to do anything really in this fight. But he has wins over Trey Ogden, Matt Sales. Yeah, he's still a relatively young guy, quite zesty, but I don't know. Like he is 10 years younger than Kurt, but like and Jordan has a reach advantage. I just feel like Kurt will be too much for Jordan on the feet, and I think that like I just don't know if Jordan's going to be able to get off his takedowns. And if he's not able to get off his takedowns, Kurt has the better hands, and it'll probably hurt him on the feet. So I think probably more than likely we'll see a Kurt decision because Levitt won't be able to get off his takedowns. So because of that, I'm going to go with Kurt Holloway. Fuck. I really hope I'm not wrong about this one, guys, but my brain is telling me to go with Kurt. We move up to the feature fight of the prelims. This will be a quick video, guys, but we're never going to miss a card. So, Rafael Filho is going up against Alan Nascimento. I think Rafael Filho is going to be the underdog in this fight. I mean, to be fair, Alan Nascimento hasn't fought in a while, right? And he's had some canceled bouts. He was also supposed to fight Rafael a while back, so they've rebooked this. I think he got injured, and then he was scheduled to fight someone else, and they got injured, then he got injured. So he's really, I feel like, got to win this fight. So that puts a lot of pressure on him versus Rafael. I like Rafael. He's a good fighter. He has a good win over O'Day Osborne. Like, that's not a bad win whatsoever. Definitely very talented. I've gone back and forth with this a little bit in my head because I feel like a lot of people are going to take Alan Nascimento. I feel like Rafael's good on the ground. I feel like he's also not bad at his striking. He has a deficit in both the height and reach. But I think Alan Nascimento just he doesn't have momentum. He hasn't fought in a while. Granted, he's a good fighter, but I think that Rafael is a good underdog to put your money on. And I'm going to go with him let's go with a second round KO by Rafael. Yeah, some form of ground and pound from him. I see it. All right, guys, we're going to move up to the main card. All right. Zachary Reese is fighting Dusko Todorovic. I mean, off the bat, I like Zachary Reese a lot. I like this fight by knockout for Zachary Reese. Dusko Todorovic, maybe there was a time when people thought he was going to be something in this federation, the UFC. Sorry, Dusko, but he lost to Mansour Abdul Malik, Christian Leroy Duncan. I remember early in his career he had wins against Jordan Wright, which was a decent win. But he hasn't really, turned into much. He hasn't really elevated his game. And I feel like Zachary Reese is, his last performance, he was successful knocking out Asmat Bakoyev in the first round, which was a nice touch. So I feel like he'll probably get it done via KO. I see it coming early. I say a first round finish for Zachary Reese. Yeah, let's go with the first round KO for Zachary Reese. Moving up the card, guys. Caitlin Vieira versus Macy Chiasson. This fight was supposed to happen, I think, on the Seattle, the Cejudo versus Song Yadong card, but it got canceled last minute. So they rebooked it for this card, obviously. I like Caitlin Vieira. No, I don't. She's 33. So is Macy Chiasson. I like Macy Chiasson. She is a good fighter. And this is probably a fight that'll get her a lot closer to a title shot. She's coming off of wins versus Mayra Bueno Silva, Pani Kinzad, and Irene Aldana beat her. But to be fair, Macy Chiasson was doing very well in that fight. So I really fully expect Macy Chiasson to fucking piece up Caitlin Vieira. Caitlin Vieira's last showing was against Yep, Kayla the Man Harrison, where she got absolutely toyed with, which is fine, but Macy Chasson's bigger than Caitlin Vieira. She's got a reach advantage. And I don't think that Caitlin Vieira is going to be able to get her takedowns off against Macy Chasson. I think she'll probably get picked apart on the feet. I probably see a decision for this fight. I think Macy Chasson will probably just, I don't think Caitlin will be able to get off her takedowns. Macy Chasson by decision. I could see her knocking her out, but we'll just go with the decision. Moving up the card. Dustin Jacoby's fighting Bruno Lopez. I like Dustin Jacoby. His last fight, I guess, was against Vitor Petrino, where he won a TKO in the third round. It was getting pretty close to being the end of the fight. I remember the judges' commentary on that fight being a little biased. I don't know. They made it seem like Vitor was, really ahead on the scorecards, and I thought it was a very close fight. But, yeah. Dustin ended up getting the better of him, knocked him out. Before that, he had suffered some not so good losses, being to Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes has recently made a resurgence in his career. He's on a 3-fight win streak. He started it off against Dustin Jacoby. Before that, he lost to Alonzo Menfield, which was a good fight. To be fair, he's been in a lot of decisions, and he's beat Kennedy Ngannou. He arguably beat Khalil Roundtree in that fight. I would argue. I thought that was a very bad decision.
Roundtree Jr.
Dustin Jacoby is a very talented dude, and then he goes up against Bruno Lopez, who is a prospect in this division, and he's 14-1, and I mean, he has a loss to Branson Ribeiro, a win over Mikhail Sazhinia, and Magomed. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that last name. He's a big guy. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Vitor Petrino. No, not nearly as buff, but big guy. Fuck, I feel like it worries me just because of his record, and I've seen Dustin Jacoby, get knocked out a bunch of times, but I do like Dustin Jacoby. I think he's a good fighter. Fuck, he's just older. I think there's some good money to be made on a Dustin Jacoby KO against Bruno Lopez. Oh, I'm a little worried about it, though, to be honest with you. This will probably be one. I think before I would have probably gone with Bruno Lopez, but I don't know. I've watched back some of Dustin Jacoby's fights recently, and I rewatched that Khalil Roundtree run recently, and I like him, and I think that he'll probably be able to deal with Bruno Lopez. If it was someone else against him, I might not be picking Dustin Jacoby, but I think he has the tools to get Bruno Lopez out of there. We'll go with the Dustin Jacoby second round finish. Yeah, knockout. Let's get it, guys. Moving up, we have Billy Ray Goff versus Ramiz Brimage. Billy Ray Goff, man. He's had a couple canceled bouts. Lost a decision to Trey Waters his last time out. He has 2 wins, one on the Contender Series, and then one against Yasuku Kinoshita. I like him. He is he's a talented fighter. I like Billy Ray. My thing for this would probably be that, I think he was supposed to fight somebody else. Yeah, he was supposed to fight some Asian dude, I think, from the Contender Series. Sorry. But, he's fighting Ramiz. I'm going to go with Billy Ray Goff for the sake of the fact that, I think that he is going to benefit from having a full training camp, and I think that's going to help a lot. So let's just take a look at Ramiz for a second. I know he's not a bad fighter. He's coming off of a win versus Mickey Gall. Themba Garumbo beat him. I don't like that. Yeah, we're going with the Billy Ray Goff. Let's go with the Billy Ray Goff decision, guys. All right, now we go to the co-main event of Mateusz Gamrot versus Ludovic Klein, guys. This is an exciting one. Gamrot's been out for, I think, about 8 months. He hasn't fought in a bit since that Dan Hooker fight. If you guys think that maybe Mateusz Gamrot won that fight, I wouldn't argue with you too much. He did have a couple takedowns. Maybe the significant strikes, I believe, were slightly in favor of Dan Hooker. I thought I put my money on Dan Hooker, so, while watching it, maybe I was a little biased, but I thought that the takedowns weren't enough for Mateusz Gamrot and that Dan Hooker did more damage. Granted, for anyone who thinks that Mateusz Gamrot doesn't have hands, I suggest you watch back that fight, because I think maybe some of his earlier fights kind of tricked us into kind of thinking that he's just a grappler. But the thing is about him is what really, when he gets hurt, he grapples. With Jalen Turner, with Arman Sarukian, I don't think he won that fight, but he did get dropped. Like, when he gets hurt in fights, he just fucking grapples, and that's scary. And he's also he's got a chin on him too. So he goes up against Ludovic Klein, a guy who's outside the rankings, but a dangerous guy nonetheless. I remember he hit AJ Cunningham with some a nice barrage of body shots to put him away. He beat Roosevelt Roberts. He beat Thiago Moises. Ignacio Bahamundes is a very good win. That's aged quite well for him. I mean, he did go to a draw against Jai Herbert, which I guess doesn't look great. But he's beat Mason Jones, Devontae Smith. He lost to Nate the Train back in 2021 via submission, which is why this might worry me a little bit for Ludovic, because I am leaning towards more Mateusz Gamrot. I think that he's just a world-class fighter, and he's doing a lot here by giving up, by risking his ranking spot. He could lose his fight, and then Ludovic Klein will be ranked. But, Mateusz just fought the best of the best. He hasn't really fought too many guys outside the top 5, and he's just used to fighting ranked fighters, and I feel like the odds are a little disrespectful to Mateusz Gamrot coming off such a close fight with a top-ranked guy. I definitely think Ludovic has the ability to win this fight by a knockout, which scares me a bit, but I do think that Mateusz Gamrot will win this fight. My intuition tells me that it'll be a decision, and it'll probably be based on a 2-1 for Mateusz Gamrot. I see this being a very entertaining fight, to say the least. So probably the one that I'm looking forward to most on this card. So let's get it, guys. We'll go with the Mateusz Gamrot decision. All right. Is that it for the, yep, we go to the main event. Erin Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. Erin Blanchfield suffered her only loss to Manon Fiorot in a fucking boring main event. Yeah. She wasn't really able to deal with Manon's... She was a lot bigger than her. She was bigger. She kept the range. I don't feel like Erin wasn't really able to get off her takedowns. She's a very big pressure fighter, and Manon was able to kind of thwart that move a lot. And because she was the bigger, longer fighter, she was able to reach her before Erin could kind of, get in there. She wasn't really ever able to find her rhythm. So, yeah. Her last time out, she did beat Rose. To be fair, it was another really boring fight. Rose, I believe, maybe won the first or second round on the feet, and then Erin Blanchfield proceeded to just lie on her for the rest of the fight. It is quite impressive because Rose is a very good, she's a good opponent, world class for sure. And Erin's only loss in the UFC came to Manon Fiorot, who just fought for the title. So there's no shame in that. She submitted Jessica Andrade. She's beat Talia Santos. I'm not going to say Molly McCann, but I just did. JJ Aldrich. Those two fucking suck, but yeah. She's going up against Macy Barber, the future. When I first took a look at this fight, maybe I was a little bit more inclined to give Macy more of the edge, but I don't think so anymore. I don't know. I think that probably, more than likely, she won't win this fight. Macy Barber has some good wins. She's coming off of a win versus Caitlin Shukian, a decision. And she's fought Amanda Ribas, Andrea Lee, Jessica Ai, Montana De La Rosa, And her last loss was to Roxanne Modafferi back in 2020. So it's been a while since she suffered a loss. I think it's going to be a very good... No, I don't think it's going to be a good fight. I don't know what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure from Erin Blanchfield. I don't really know if Macy Barber is going to be able to, like, land the way that she does against other opponents. I think that Erin's going to be able to get her takedowns off, that she's going to pressure Macy Barber a lot, and that she's probably going to win this fight via decision. Like, I don't see, like, a finish, like, or really, maybe a submission. I don't think so. I think this will be dictated a lot by control, which will be in Erin Blanchfield's wheelhouse. I don't know. It might be worth it to bet something like over a certain amount of significant strikes for one of these two. Obviously, to go to the distance because, you know, it's a chick fight, but I don't really know. I feel like I won't be doing too much betting on this card, but there's a couple things probably to look at, and, you know, maybe let it marinate, and we'll see. But yeah, guys, that is Erin Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. That is our breakdown of the card. I'm going to get this video out tonight. It's going to be a little bit late, but there's going to be about 2 days to watch it before the card. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. We are back. There's a bunch of UFC to come. We're super excited about it, and we'll see you guys soon. Basement Breakdown.
Brace yourself for the latest show. Basement Breakdown, let it